This is episode 40. I am Childeric. It's so hilarious, too. So today, on the 40th most glorious episode ever, period. So John Kerry allegedly held meetings with top Iranians in Paris this weekend. And some people have been identifying, they've taken photos because people recognized him, and so there was people there taking photos. And so they've identified this, there was, I guess, 3 of them, and they've identified this second shadowy Iranian figure, and they're all connected. They're all connected to the thing. So for those of you who don't know, the Iranian regime is because President Trump pulled out of the JCPOA, which is also known as the Iranian deal, the Iran deal, the nuclear deal, the Iranian regime is threatening to release the names of Western officials, this would be Europe and the United States, who took bribes to pass that deal, to get that deal done, okay? And so here we have John Kerry meeting with people that he probably knows and met with before to craft the deal, while the Iranians are threatening. So Obama, and this is what they want. They want the people who had signed the deal, the previous administration, to put pressure on, they want them to put pressure on Europe to put pressure on the current administration to stay in the deal. Otherwise, they're going to tell. So this is great. This is great. And like literally no one doesn't want them to say who took bribes. Like we're all sitting here going, oh, do tell. We're grabbing the popcorn here because this is a clear case of the reason why, okay, so it's clear that Obama is compromised, and it's clear John Kerry is compromised. We don't know who all else is compromised, but these Iranians literally said they took bribes to pass the deal. So now we have a bunch of mucks in Europe and the United States who are essentially being forced, or at least manipulated, because they took money from the Iranians, because they have personally pocketed money, bribe money. And this is the former president of the United States, Barack Obama. So he's literally acting on behalf of the Iranians now to put pressure. So that is also a Logan Act violation, by the way. But you can see now what has transpired. This is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of people finding out. They're afraid of people knowing that they're on the take. And we all kind of joked about it, or we, had our conspiracy theories about it before. But no, this is literal. These people were on the take. These people actually got bribes from a rogue terrorist funding nation state in the world, and they did it to sell the Russians the uranium and to have the Russians give the uranium to Iran. So the level that we're talking about here is treason. That's the level that we're at. So once again, when Hillary stated that they would all hang from nooses in her emails that were leaked to WikiLeaks, and via WikiLeaks, she's correct. She's correct. That is the penalty for the crime that they knew they were guilty of when she said that. So it's telling. It's telling that all this is transpiring now and right in front of everybody's eyes, because now Obama, he's been, hidden. He's like hidden in some bunker somewhere, okay? Some Hitler bunker. And of course, the Secret Service knows where he is because he's got to have Secret Service with him all the time. All former presidents do. So this is how dumb these people are. So it's like they're not going anywhere. There's nothing they can do about it. They were amateur when they were there, and they thought they knew what they were doing. But in all actuality, they were genuinely the crooks that we took them for. We knew that they were crooks. We thought that they were crooks. We had ideas that they were crooks, rumblings, and it turns out that was true. That was true. So Hillary Clinton, still world touring. She was on Australian Broadcasting Corporation Thursday, talking about how Americans are uneasy about women in power. No, they're not. No, they're not. What are you talking about? There's all kinds of people in the Senate and Congress that are women. All different kinds. They got Republicans and Democrats. Nobody's afraid of that. Look at Theresa May. She's a woman. She's a prime minister in England. Nobody's afraid of that here. What they're afraid of is someone who mishandles classified information, someone who lies to the families of the Benghazi incident and wants to finish the job that Obama started, which is his takedown of America. So, to quote former President Bill Clinton, "You lost." Apparently that's what he said right before he threw her book into the garbage. And he was only supposed to be proofreading it, so apparently he saw what we all saw. He's kind of a weirdo. She's even more so. Just can't seem to tell the truth. Can't seem to tell the truth. The poor EU must be beside themselves. They go to try to affect some type of vote, and Viktor Orban and his hungry bloc EU motion to condemn Trump for moving embassy to Jerusalem. See, that's the thing with these people. They haven't ever figured anything out, okay? You're always going to have the problem if you never take care of the problem. And the problem here is that you got a group of people who have moved into an area claiming that it's theirs, and it's not. Never was, never has been, and never will be. And they can't take a hint. Like, I think that the Israelis have been more than accommodating. And not only that, like, they call Israel a Jewish state. And for the most part, there is a large majority of Jews that live in the state of Israel. But there's Christians, there's also Muslims, there's people from all over the place that are visiting all of the time. Okay, so Israel, it would be nice to see that Israel is safe enough so that all people could visit and be there. And just let the Jewish people leave them alone. Leave them alone. But here in the EU, you've got all of these groups that are, oh, no, we are against that. And they don't even know why. They don't even know why. I mean, England and France caused this problem by drawing lines where there weren't lines before. And it all has to do with the fact that they had to get rid of the Ottoman Empire, and they did that. And that's why Jordan is where it is today. But they literally have no written history for the Palestinians ever existing. And the name Palestinian, some would like to equate to a Philistine, but they are not Philistines either. And some people would like to make that distinction, but literally the name comes from the term that the Romans named the region when they expelled all of the Jews out of it. They didn't want the Jews there, so they called it Palestina. So we're getting to this point where this has gone on long enough. It's absurd. There's plenty of room for everybody, and if everybody just moves along and does something different, then maybe we can have a shot at having some nice things. Maybe that's why we don't have nice things. Devin Nunes, he's itching, wants to call in the G-men on John Kerry. I don't blame him. They need to rope up Kerry, Obama, and Jarrett, everyone that's with this group of people. Soros, they need to rope them all up. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is what I think is happening. I think what is happening is that they already know all of these things about these people. They already know what they've been doing, what they've done, and they already know how big the mess is. They already know that the main people that they know are guilty of a number of atrocities aren't going anywhere because they're under Secret Service protection detail. So what I think is happening is that they are spoon-feeding the public, and of course the rest of the world as well, spoon-feeding things. Essentially, they're not really beating around the bush, but they're just giving it to us in smaller doses so that the masses don't freak out when these people are arrested and thrown in prison. I may be wrong, but that's what I think is going on. I think it's a foregone. I think it's already done. Not that they've been tried and convicted, but it's the cases they already know. Okay, they're readying themselves to prosecute these people, and that's what I believe. I believe that, and that's what all of this is about. That's what all of the nastiness on the part of the liberals is about, because they know they're caught. Their higher ups are caught. Now the average sheep person down at the bottom doesn't know what's going on. All they know is what they were told, and that is they got to protect Obama and Hillary and all these people that were clowning and breaking the law and being criminal. And I can understand why they would really feel like they were in a lot of trouble, because they are. They're very much in a lot of trouble. And not only that, that trouble spreads to an international group of people. And that international group of people may very well involve people like Justin Trudeau, Angela Merkel, numerous people within the EU. So it's scandal. It's a scandal. It's a huge scandal. It's a global elitist scandal. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes global. There's like such a huge backlash against globalism right now. And it's because this is the very thing that nobody wanted. But everybody, all of these old wrinkly bags of bones were like, nope, we're going to be the ones. We're going to institute a new world order. How's that working for you? How's that working for you? I mean, it seems like, you know, you've rounded up a number of the village idiots to do your bidding for you. It's absurd to me, and it's actually quite offensive that people would go to such lengths to ruin something that operates in such a great way and that is one of the greatest countries in the world. I think that probably what happened is Obama probably was going along his 8 years and thinking that he would already have this thing cinched up. And then when it wasn't, like, you can't take the thing down. It's too massive and it's too huge. There's that saying, too big to fail. That's the United States. That is the United States. Upstate New York Islamic Center holds groundbreaking ceremony for new mosque, no women allowed. How's that tolerance narrative? We know they're not tolerant. I know they're not tolerant. That part of it doesn't. I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon. I'm going to, you know, if women feel like they're, you know, there's something they need to take an issue with, they need to be the ones to voice that. That's not my problem. I could support. I could support, but I'm definitely not going to do it for them. Better be careful, those women are tricky. They like to get you to do stuff for them. And I'm not talking take out the garbage. I'm talking other stuff. Other stuff that you may or may not be unwitting. You may or may not be aware that you're being manipulated to do. Top Democrat tells party members to stop bashing Trump. Get into a 12-step program if you have to. Interesting philosophy. 12-step program, like they're addicted to what? Bribes? I think it's funny these days. Like, I grew up with a lot of people who are always going on and on and on about how corrupt the government is, or that how the media is complicit and they're controlling everything and mind control. And there's always these people. Back then they didn't call them tinfoil hat people because the hysteria wasn't quite to that level. But they really had themselves convinced that there was just something that they just couldn't put their finger on that was untoward about power. And I always just chalked it up to their own misunderstanding of what power is. And their own misunderstanding about the inclinations of different agencies or different organizations. Because you have to think to yourself that these organizations don't do things unless it benefits them. Unless those organizations are in a group that has arranged themselves in a manner that will benefit everyone in the group. And this is what liberals do, okay? They buy their paper from their own paper guy. They buy their office equipment from their own office equipment guy. They have their buildings renovated and built with their own building people. And that's why they're all about the union. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's organized crime. It's organized crime. That's what organized crime does. That's what the mafia does. That's what the mob does. So that's why it's wrong. I don't care, you know, that there's Democrats and Republicans. I do care that there's a group of people who have decided to become an organized criminal organization. And I've said that stuff before. So they know that Obama spied on Trump, who was at the time a private citizen. And they know that they put someone, a mole. Who is the mole? They put a mole in his campaign, and they think that there may have been more than one. Like there might be one more guy, or maybe even possibly a third guy. So at this point, everyone's guessing online because they don't know, but it's supposed to be coming out here shortly. The information is supposed to be coming out shortly, and that's what they think they're going to be releasing when they release these documents that the FBI and Justice Department have been sitting on, that Congress has requested. So the whole thing is a house of cards, and not a house of cards like the TV show, an actual house of cards. It's just a bunch of cards stacked up that if you blow on it hard enough, it falls over. You know, if you make one wrong, it's like dominoes. You make one wrong move and they all fall over. And that's what these people haven't realized. They don't, look, I don't know how many ways I can say it. Those liberals do not know what they're doing. Liberals do not know what they're doing. They screw up everything. They're not good with money. They don't know how to make deals. They don't know how to affect an effective foreign policy. And it's absurd. It's absurd. But the rest of us were all just enjoying ourselves, having a nice life, doing the thing, while these people who were entrusted with the management of the place essentially just started taking more and more and more and more, and then telling people, well, we're changing everything. No, you're not. You're not transforming anything. Go away. And so now we have to all stop what we're doing, enjoying our liberties and our freedoms, and we have to examine what these people are doing and what these people have been doing. And then now we have to take steps to ensure that there's criminal prosecutions where crimes have been committed and people are held to account. And that right there is what I am most upset about, is the disruption in my liberty, disruption in my enjoyment of freedom. All of the freedoms that are afforded to me under the Constitution. I got to stop what I'm doing, and I actually got to start saying stuff to make people who apparently haven't woke up to the reality of the world yet. They just think, oh, Democrat, I'm a Democrat. I better do what they're saying. Automatic, just an auto, flip the switch, auto. So many of them have been getting red-pilled lately that it's just like, and look, I'm not a recruiter for anyone. I'm not trying to get you to see it my way. I want you to see the truth. That's what I want you to see. I want you to see that the party, the Democratic Party, the liberals have gone off the deep end. They're gone. And you can't blindly trust anything that they're saying and doing right now. And you haven't been able to do that for quite some time. But now it's to the point where if others like myself don't stand up and say something and let you know, just to provide you with the facts and let you know that that's not how we do things, that you'll keep believing that what these people are saying is true, and you'll be just like them, and you'll just keep feeding that cancer. And trust me, it's a cancer. So it's a cancer on our government, and it's a cancer on our society. And it never should have gotten to this level, ever. It's seeped into even the countries around us. Look at Canada. They got the village idiot up there in Canada. Now, a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, you can't say certain stuff in Canada. That's true. Canadians can't say certain stuff, but I can say whatever I want because I am an American. So the guy's an idiot, okay? First and foremost, he's an idiot, doesn't know what he's doing. He got elected because people thought that the guy was good looking, and he was running on his dad's name and reputation that he built up, which after I've researched it a little bit, I've realized that he's doing exactly that. He's cut from the same cloth. He's just not as good at it as his dad was. His dad was very studied at it, and he was a pretty smart guy, except for the fact that he had some faulty belief systems, okay? So Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, he's a huge dope compared to his dad, okay? He's had everything given to him and expects everyone to just keep giving stuff to him, okay? This guy can't even manage his own trust fund. He doesn't even manage his own funds. They have attorneys in a group of people that do this fund management that does his fund. His wife doesn't take care of the kids. She hires nannies to do it. And you haven't heard from her for a long time. You know what I mean? You haven't heard from her for a long time. And so I guess the last time I checked, they had some shouting match going on about his swagger. Swaggering on the world stage, his swagger. I'm no swagger. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. And he said this in question period. No one's going to tell me that I can't swagger. What are you talking about, you huge moron? What adult? I gotta be honest with you. I think that the reason why the European countries and England puts up with this guy is they want the dumbest guy in there so they can control him and manipulate him. They want the village idiot. Here, do this. Okay. That's what they want. Because he's trying to do the same things that they're doing, and he's finding that it's really difficult. Like, when a self-confessed ISIS fighter who confesses to assassinating numerous people with a bullet to the back of the head and other various forms of related ISIS-style killings. This guy says it on a podcast in New York and turns up in Toronto. Turns up he's living in Toronto. And the guy bragged that no one was going to hold him to account. Now, what would give him this impression? I mean, he's from Canada, so he left Canada and went to the Middle East to fight. Okay? Then he fought against our forces, executed a bunch of people as per his own words, comes back, jumps on a podcast in New York, says, nothing's going to happen to me, I'm going back to Canada, goes back to Canada, lives, in fact, he's going to university and whatever. So this is the type of person that doesn't just get into Canada and they don't know who he is, okay? this is the type of person that you would definitely want to know where he is at all times. But at the same time, in this particular case, you have the fact that he left Canada to fight on behalf of another state, an enemy state, against Western allies. He left. That's a crime. Leaving the country to do that, that's a crime. And so this guy goes and then he just comes back. No charges, no terrorist charges. He was fighting for a terrorist state, ISIS. No charges. Mysterious, because this is like a really serious charge. It's a treason charge is what it is. I believe it's C-46. The fact that he left, that's one portion of that crime, that bill, or that criminal code. But the fact that he came back and is just allowed to come back in and resume a normal life, or until he decides to do something else, or go back to what he was doing while he was fighting for ISIS. And so that's what this big dummy Trudeau is all about. He's just like, yeah, they can all just come back. Well, I'm sorry, but that makes it sound like you guys knew who these people were. That's what it makes it sound like to me. Makes it sound like, you sent a bunch of people over there to jihad, like you knew they were going, like they had permission. That's what it looks like. It looks like they had permission. You don't want anybody to find out that they had permission to go, because they had to have had permission. Otherwise, they would be in violation of that law in the first place, to go over there and fight a jihad on behalf of a declared state, which is the exact statute that's in C-46. It's an enemy state. So they try to use all of these different nomenclatures to categorize people differently so that they escape these legal definitions so that they can't be prosecuted. So in my estimation, if that isn't someone trying to overthrow the government of Canada, and that meaning Trudeau and it's only one of two ways. He's either doing all of this stuff on purpose, which he's out pretty much said as much as that's what he's doing, and two, he's either doing it out of ignorance, because he's like literally that stupid. Now, which one of those sides are we going to go with here? You're either doing it on purpose or you're doing it because you're inept and stupid. But meanwhile, you've placed everyone else in danger without explanation. And an explanation is demanded. It really certainly is demanded. Why this guy is even still prime minister, serving as a prime minister. If the guy had stolen a candy bar from a convenience store, he wouldn't be prime minister. And this guy had committed 4 ethics violations, which amounted to 4 separate felonies. And he's still the prime minister. So the government of Canada is completely and utterly ill-formed. I've said it so many times, I'm almost sick and tired of saying it. They've got a problem with this guy and the people that work with him. He's tied to Obama. And out of the blue, when this whole Iran thing came up, right out of the blue, what's her name? Krista Freeland? She's like one of their negotiators for NAFTA. She's one of them. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. Point is that she comes out and makes a statement about the Iran deal, about Trump withdrawing from the Iran deal. And she was urging, well, you should stay in the deal. What? And so when Iran says we're going to name names who took bribes, this is why it's a good thing. Because now all of a sudden, all these people standing up saying, no, we're for that. That prevents them from having, there's a lie, number one. Everyone knows it. And all of these people that are standing up are the ones that have the most to lose. And it's pretty apparent. So I'm seeing some pretty big names that I've put on the list, just the ones that have stood up and been really, really vocal about it, okay? So it looks like everybody's on the take, and that's not good. So what is going to happen is there's going to be investigations. These people are going to be held to account when the information comes out about their receiving of bribes. They're finished for sure. Like, these people are going to get locked up. Sad choice for them that they had made. So, but that's their problem. You don't go breaking the law and expecting to get away with it.